Gamecast episode number 229, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every weekend and release it on all podcast services. So do us a favor and show us some love by liking, following, commenting, or sharing on any of our social media and on our YouTube page, the CFG channel, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games, and with me today, I have my awesome co-host, Lex. What is going on, my cyborg?
Hello, I'm getting ready for Star Trek convention. And Davis, before he started, said, "Oh, you should have told me. I could have gotten new press credentials."
Yep. Had the chance.
How much?
I mean, is it expensive? I mean, like, I know that Star Trek convention is always in Vegas. The big Star Trek convention is in Vegas, but I never knew if it was if it's a expensive con or not.
You know what? I feel like I was looking at the VIP passes, or hold on, I'll tell you exactly.
Are they reasonable?
Nope.
Oh, it's not reasonable. Oh, that's not good.
Mm-mm. I mean, at least I don't think so. But like, you have to buy a ticket, and then if you want to do like meet and greet, it's around between $40 and $150, depending on who you're wanting to meet.
To be honest with you,
pay that individually. That's not bad.
It's hard for me to say I want to spend money to see an individual. Yeah. I hate to do that. Well, it depends. If it's a good I think I paid like $10 to see the Black Ranger a long time ago. But like, other than that, yeah, this was before conventions kind of evolved to what they are today. But like, man, to say that like, hey, like, I think the thing that killed me, I'm sorry to kind of get off topic, but like,
no, you're okay.
Star Wars Celebration, when I saw the prices to see some of these people, like, this was I believe the year after Carrie Fisher died. So they were like, they were having some ridiculous prices. Like, hey, you want to meet Mark Hamill? $500. Take a photo with Mark Hamill, $500. And the scariest thing, that wasn't the most expensive one. The most expensive one was the lead character from Rogue One. And I'm like, Rogue One? So over the OGs? Anyways, I'm sorry, I digress. But what were you saying?
It's okay. So and this includes like a dinner, a dance party, the captain's chair admission package. You get reserved seats. You get to go to the gala on Saturday. You get to go to the dance party, limited edition collector's coin, a Trek treat card. It's got like free gifts and stuff in the Roddenberry exhibit hall, pre-registration, color band, blah, 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 right? $619. That's not too bad. I was going to pay more to go to Supernatural Con.
Supernatural Con is a con, dude. Like, they are there. I mean, not like saying any cons are there to not make money, but Supernatural cons are they don't do press over there. And I wouldn't, even if they did, I wouldn't do it because of how they're structured. But like, it's just they're like, it's so ridiculous of what they do. Well, the charges that they do for those to do simple things. It's like think of a con that's totally microtransactional, completely microtransactional.
So just to go on Sunday, per ticket is like $110, which isn't bad.
No, it's not bad.
Too bad.
One day for $110, so yeah, it's not bad.
And I'm expecting to spend like maybe $1,000 because I want the jacket.
What jacket?
I will show you when I get it.
Oh, you're talking about the Strange New Worlds. Is anyone from Strange New Worlds going to be there?
That's what we're going to go see tomorrow.
I don't see
all the Strange New Worlds cast.
I'm looking at the list, and then they don't have the cast listed.
Hold on. Hold your titties.
Okay. But anyways.
No. Sunday, Strange New World cast part 1, 9:45, Dr. Mbanga, Christine Chappell, Christina Chong, who plays Noonien Singh, Erica Ortega's Hammer. Okay. Sam Kirk. Then 10:45, part 2 is Captain Pike. Oh, Rebecca Romaine, Ethan Peck, Carol Kane. Oh, I can't wait to meet her. The lady who plays Uhura, Celia. And then Captain Marie Bartel. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they don't even put, so they're just there
and
probably just for the
people.
It just sounds like they're there for just the panel and that's it, but they're not doing any of the meet and
They
greet
do meet and greets after.
Okay.
Panel first, then they do meet and greets, and then panel 2, and then if they haven't gotten through the first meet and greets, they pause them for panel 2, and then meet and greets at different times.
Okay, well that's cool. Well, I know we're gonna do it. Well, hopefully this convention will convince you that Captain Sisko is the best captain in the world. So we'll go with that.
Nope.
But it was. Did you played anything this week?
Yes, Labyrinthine.
I saw that you have been doing that recently.
Yeah. We played Labyrinthine, and then what did we play on Tuesday? Played.
EBD?
No, Labyrinthine was on Tuesday. Then Devour was on Thursday, and it was pretty good. There have been updates.
Nice,
for both.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh wow, there's updates on that one too. Nice. Very much so. Okay, well that's cool. Well, at least you had a good. At least we'll definitely have some good. You need to get back on streaming again. It's been a bit.
I know.
But there you go. But guys, yeah, but that's cool. But that's for me. I've been doing that.
What have you been up to? Let me ask you.
Okay.
What have you been up to, Davis?
I have been busy with my everyday thing. I've been doing a special video for that's going to be releasing out on YouTube. Hopefully I can release it to sometime next week or the beginning of the week. My goal is to release on Monday. So, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. So if you're wanting to see the special video that I'm going to be releasing, it's a different kind of video that I'm pushing out. It's going to be on Monday. Yeah, my goal is going to be on Monday. See, there you go. Yeah, I can't give it all the details. So
if you wanted to,
yeah, no, not the NDA. It's just something I wanted to try. Something I wanted to pull out in the ether and just go out there. But I don't want to say much about it. But yeah, it's going to be coming out Monday. My goal is to release on Monday. But if it's not Monday, it's definitely going to be that week.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Expose on Smitty.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Because freaky. I'll make it like a documentary piece. It'll be like a dark piece of it. Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be. But if y'all are interested, go follow us on the YouTube page, the CFG on YouTube, and definitely don't miss out. It's a good one. It's just a one that I've been kind of struggling on for wanted to release for a long time. So, but I've decided just suck it up and do it. But other than that, I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals as well. Man, Marvel Rivals is just such a good game. I've just been enjoying it so much, like so many different characters. It's this game is exactly what Overwatch should have been. It's just been so good. From when I was playing it. Especially since the arena kind of game isn't the kind of game I usually like to play, but the learning curve is so simple to kind of get to a point where I didn't feel frustrated. But it's just so cool to with the characters and stuff. And then they added 2 characters in the middle of the beta, which is even cooler too. So yeah. So yeah, they added Thor and Jeff the land shark, and and he's
nice.
Adding all so I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with with new characters that come into this game. So we'll definitely see. I can't wait till Smitty comes back so we can start playing some more of that together, because I know he's probably going to go ham and try to get the exclusive outfit for Venom if he can do it in time. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. But anyways, I know y'all don't want to be talking about some more Marvel Rivals and figuring out what my secret video I'm creating on YouTube on the CFG. Ooh, that's a nice plug. So guys, but let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games that happened in the previous week. The topic would or could be a video game specifically itself, or something that happened in the video game industry. And we do not want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners on Twitch, YouTube, and on Kick, to be a part of the conversation as always. So if there is something that you're wanting to add or chime in or wanting to ask about, by all means, just type it inside the chat. We would love to talk about it with you and everybody there, and we will go from there. So I will go first because I'm not going to go excuse me, I'm not going to be crossing hairs, but this one really hits home, and it really hurts to even think about. So so I'm going to be talking about a terrible thing that happened yesterday, and it's about GameStop doing something that the writing was on the wall for a while. I'm surprised it took them this long, but it's finally official. Game Informer, which was the longest running gaming magazine in the US, has now officially shut down. I believe it lasted over 30 years in its run. So it lasted longer than Nintendo Power, which is amazing to me to even think about. But yeah, so Game Informer is one, like, the whole process of it was a mess, and I'm going to read an article because the best way to do it is to read someone else's article, and I'm getting it from Ethan Gatch from Kotaku. So Game Informer, the longest running gaming magazine in the US, is officially dead, and GameStop killed it. It began publishing in 1991 and has been one of the last remaining physical gaming magazines in the world, with cover stories that continue to share deep dives and exclusive interviews on the biggest games coming out, from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to Star Wars Outlaws No More. Staff of the magazine, which also publishes a website, weekly podcasts, and online video documentaries about game studios and developers, were all called into a meeting on Friday with the parent company GameStop's VP of HR itself. In it, they were told the publication was closing immediately. They were all laid off and would begin receiving severance terms. At least one staffer was in the middle of a work trip when the team was told. Can you imagine that? You're on the plane, you're assigned to do something, but then when you land or you're doing it, then you realize that your company doesn't exist anymore. That's crazy.
How do you get home?
I'm sure they're gonna flip. I'm sure they're gonna flip the bill. Lack of it's terrible. So continuing on, the sudden closure of Game Informer means that issue number 367, the outlet's Dragon Age: The Veilguard cover story, will be its last. The entire website has been taken offline as well. The Game Informer Twitter account posted the following statement online today, but sources tell Kotaku it was not written by anyone on the team, which was still the process of making sure everyone on staff was informed about the news. First off, I call bullshit on this, because what I think personally, what they do, because like what they would do in this kind of term, because the way that they got fired, there's no way in hell that they're going to be making a very, clear, precise message saying, oh, thank you, we were honored to be working with this company and stuff like that. They would be like, I'm going to set this building on fire and I will destroy everything that this company is for. So anyways, let's see. Let me just see what it says here. What the whole thing says. The quote says, after 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from the ever-evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realm, we've been honored to share the incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being part of our epic quest, and may our own gaming adventures never end. Okay, yeah. I'm calling shenanigans. There's no way that these people really feel that way. I would be like, I would be so salty right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, no. So would I. But think about it from this perspective. If they said something along the lines of, I'm going to burn this building down, the lack of professionalism on their part would be taken into consideration for whatever they go on to next. You know what I mean? So I get it. It's bittersweet either way.
It wasn't even. Yeah, but it wasn't even. I'm just saying that they said the claim of this like thank you isn't genuine at all, because it's not even from the staff. It's probably from the HR department of GameStop that did it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not saying that they should let them do it, because no, I sure as hell wouldn't do it either. I would have exactly. I would be like but to say that
for a favor after firing me? No.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you're telling me about your dad and Wayne Newton. So can you imagine? Yeah. So no, I'm just going to be like, no. So look, continuing on, and it was funny that you mentioned that. It's funny. This is a funny part. A frustrating turn of events, especially considering we were about 70% done with the next issue, and it was going to have a great cover. Tweeted Game Informer magazine content director Kyle Hilliard after they broke the news. This is what he said, quote, "I'm furious about the end of Game Informer." This is another quote. Sorry, this is guy Ben Hansen. He says that it was an incredible 33-year run, and then GameStop pumps out this phony, empty farewell message. I'd bet money on it. It was written by AI. Fuck you, GameStop, and a big fuck you to Ryan Cohen. Ryan Cohen is the CEO of GameStop himself. So, but Ryan Cohen is a shady individual though too.
Question.
Yeah.
Why? So how are they connected? Did I not know that these two companies were connected?
Yeah. They've always been connected. So like Game Informer was created by GameStop. For a long time, and that was the publishing arm of what game for a long time. That's why when you went to GameStop, and then they always offer here you go, here's our magazine, and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy. So like, but Ryan Cohen, I will have to agree with Ben Hansen. Ben Hansen probably heard this is more first off. Ryan Cohen is a shady individual. I don't care saying it. I'm saying it right now. Unless GameStop sponsors us on something, I don't know, but we'll see. But still,
how are they still around? How is GameStop still around? I don't understand.
And they haven't even learned to pivot correctly, but it's ridiculous. Yeah, dude, like Ryan Cohen is actually, I think is getting busted for insider trading. Like they're suing for insider trading for something else. So let's say, let me see if it continues on here. Every URL that sucks too. Every URL for the Game Informer website now redirects to the official statement, erasing more than a decade of articles, reviews, original reports that helped establish a record of the notoriously secretive and volatile video game industry. A recent in-depth feature of the retro game studio Digital Eclipse about gaming's history and preservation is one of the stories that is no longer accessible. A write-up about Game Informer's famous game vault containing releases about from across its decades-long history is also inaccessible. So, overall, so basically what they're saying is that you can't use Wayback Machine and use get stuff from their previous. There's no archive of all the history of their online articles, which is a mess, man. So overall, okay, the article still goes on a bit, so I'll stop it from there. But overall, here we go. There's one thing. Game Informer's closure comes as GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen continues shitposting about the 2024 election. In an email to staff last year, the executive called extreme frugality and criticized money wasters who didn't contribute to the company or its success. He himself, it's not a company, he himself is currently being sued by the former company behind Bed Bath & Beyond for $47 million in insider trading. So take that for a grain of salt and how it is. So here's the deal. And this is the one thing is that I feel about this. First off, rest in peace, Game Informer, because I have fond memories of Game Informer when I was growing up. Yeah, because like this was a giant. I mean, even though like, I mean, when growing up, it was always exciting to see a Game Informer physical, either a Game Informer, a Game Pro magazine, EGM, Tips and Tricks, if you remember that back in the day. There were so many different magazines and stuff that you were just nice to be able to just sit down, read it, open it up. It was like, just like Nintendo Powers and stuff like that. And just to say that this is like the last one of those crazy giants that happened, especially in America. And I think this is only an issue in America, because in Europe, I think gaming magazines are still pretty big over there.
Magazines are big over in Europe anyway, more than they are here.
Oh yeah, but definitely, most definitely, yeah. So it's weird because like I think it's a love-hate relationship when it comes to this. First off, I think the thing that really kind of killed, like exactly what the first sentence of this article was, GameStop killed Game Informer on their own. Like they like how they just decided to shut this down for the longest of time. Game Informer currently now had actually really good coverage with a skeleton crew of people for the past 3 years. The past 3 years, because they shut down quite a bit of it, I think, back in 2022, and still they were able to thrive and then make some really good documenting pieces and stuff. Once you had the chance to, 'cause sometimes they review statements that they got from other companies and stuff was reverted to some of their awesome writers and stuff. It sucks to see them go the way they did, and the thing that really infuriates me is just the way that they were dismissed. Like literally, like yesterday they get corraled into an office and they say we're shutting it down immediately with no warning or any kind of calls for it, because the previous month they were planning on reintroducing a monthly subscription that people can mail, that you can mail their copies of their magazines back to their homes again. So people who were going to be reassigned and stuff like that towards all of this, and then like they were planning for the future and doing all of this stupid kind of craziness. They had plans on bringing it back, but then when GameStop decided to just put the brakes on it and just say, hey, we're done. It feels like this is like I would say it's more of a CEO move on this, on trying to convert this. It's devastating, but this also kind of leads to a point of like saying, like, it seems like it's very vital that if you're wanting to see things like that to last long and to keep on going, especially now, since you don't necessarily need with the individual big companies like Game Informer or EGM or big ones like IGN and stuff, that now you have a lot of indie people like us, for instance. Like we're minuscule, we're micro to everything comparatively, but still it's like you wanting to support the people that have the to get to that point, but it's just say that. Oh, but so annoying.
Several people actually recognized me at the convention, and I was surprised. Yeah, because they always ask for you and Smitty. And so when I heard Lex, I was like, yeah. I thought it was Smitty calling me because I kept going ahead of him, and I didn't want to get separated, but that happens because I'm child size. And so a couple times I heard my name and I turned around and people waved at me. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not recognized. They're like, well, you wouldn't. I watch, the podcast. I'm like, oh.
That's cool, though.
I appreciate that. We got a cat coming in hot. You better knock it off. So they do recognize me. Yay.
It's cool though. I like that. See, that's the kind of stuff I like. There's like, I know we said that it does. I'm not just saying it to say, come say hi to us when you see us. Cause like,
no, please do.
Yeah, we definitely love that. It actually reassures me though too at the same time, because we don't really have, besides the interactiveness that we have here on the live deals and stuff, it's like you don't know who's watching and stuff. Right.
And some people watch or listen but don't watch, and so I had two people. They walked over, they go, I'm sorry, are you Lex? I was like, yes. They said, "Oh, I recognized your voice," because I was yelling for Adam because he was doing some B-roll, and they heard my voice and recognized it because I sound like a child.
You should have an emote of you in a blowhorn saying Adam as just out there. That's what it should be.
I'm not good at that stuff, but if anyone wants to help me out, let me know.
There you go. But what Lucentai said earlier says, yeah, you never know what that many Game Informers, but some of the covers were super dope. Yeah, man, yeah, there was a lot. I mean, dude, 367 covers. So like, I can only imagine.
That's crazy.
How many covers that is? It's hard to say.
I still have some in my comic books.
I'm pretty sure I got some somewhere, but yeah,
Lucentai also said, and Game Informer were like the two magazines that I had because they were free.
Oh yeah, see that, you get free 99, especially with it. Lucinda also says that they collaborated with Nintendo to do a specific Tears of the Kingdom cover. They did. I did not know that. But your favorite his favorite was also the Mega Man 11 cover, which was insanely good. My favorite cover, I would say, if I remember correctly, was the Arkham Rocksteady when they announced Batman, the Batman game with the white and gray. It looked it was a nice cover. I love that. It was a very simple 2 shades of colors, and then it was just like it was white and gray and black, and so I love that. I love that cover.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was a play off of the Batman series, and I can visualize it. I don't know which number it was, but it was Batman riding a black horse, and the horse is like rearing up.
I don't know. I think
it was a play off that because it was in the same color scheme and style.
That one. I have no idea what that one was going to be.
Different style for Batman.
Yeah,
but I do want to say, Mr. SNK.
Oh, okay, cool.
When you were talking, and you were saying that you felt he was doing it to reallocate funds. He agreed that it was absolutely cutting costs so that Mr. CEO can go to court.
Well, I won't say that.
I'm putting words.
Yeah,
I'm adding, but that's what it feels like from an outside perspective.
Well, I don't. Okay, but this is what I think, though, and this is what I'm assuming. Because first off, Ryan Coleman is too new. I think he just became the CEO of GameStop. I believe either 22 or 23. So it's maybe been a year or 2 years for it. However, the writing was kind of on the wall when they first lost their massive layoffs that they had. And I want to say that was back in 22 when they literally lost like 50 or 60% of their staff originally. But since then, they were still, now I'm not putting the blame on anyone on that. I'm just saying, I'm just saying that I think what makes it worse was that, let's say theoretically that layoff happened before the CEO. I haven't confirmed that, so right. I won't say it is or if it isn't. However, given the benefit of the doubt, let's just assume that was before the CEO came in. The CEO comes in and he's trying, and then what most CEOs are always going to try to do is we need to find ways to prevent to cost money. Now, on top of that, when you see the email that they said that they claim that he sent out saying that we're going to be extra frugal, that's pretty much a death note at that point.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking to myself, okay, so there's no way that we just to say that it lasted as long as it has been a miracle for the Skeleton Crew, and hats off to them because they've done really good stuff to it. But still, it's just the fact that the U.S. all video game magazines are now completely dead. Like all of them, all the big ones that we grew up to, it's in for the longest of time. All the name brand series are all gone. Now it's we're going to be dealing with you're only getting the news from either small sites like us. By the way, shameless plug, confreaksgeeks.com. And then go to the bigger groups with Ziff Davis, with IGN or GameSpot, Game Trailers and things like that. It's just that now basically I think journalist itself, or true journalism itself, is now going to the point of is now completely extinct. It's done. It's like now people. I mean, I guess the good news is that people are going to be able to do what they're wanting to do, and hopefully they are successful in what they do. But it's not easy. I mean, this is a very, very tough situation when it comes into that point. And I understand when it comes to like a matter of like, you know, how like it's like things definitely changed from when we grew up to what it is now. Because I mean, when magazines were such a big deal, we didn't have 3. Yeah, we didn't have cell phones. like, you know, it's like for us, like it like the idea for
there were their cell phones. No, they were gigantic.
Yeah.
My old man did have one. It was
huge. But it wasn't common. Was also this big. But it wasn't common. It's like it wasn't for regular people. It wasn't for everybody. It was for the rich. And stuff. Yeah. So, but yeah. Because like now it's like when I graduated, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was a sophomore in college. So like and I was like, okay, my mom got her Nokia. Well, the no, and then but like it was still the idea of having a person having my cell phone was still a alien thing to think about completely.
Yeah, of course.
And it's now it was even more alien to think about like, hey, I don't need a landline anymore. Like, you know, that kind of that kind of landline. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like that. I just can't even imagine that. But now it's like I understand that things are shifting over towards more into the digital age and stuff. But at the same time, it's like the reason why these shifts are happening is because of the is a mixture of pricing and stuff like that. Supporting what you like and wanting to keep it up, because and I'm not putting the blame on anybody, but I'm just saying that's what just normal economics of it. You know, it's just it just is what it is. But still, it's tough. It's just tough to see this one go. Just like that was one that because it was a good feeling when you're at a GameStop, even like heaven forbids, because I mean because I don't know when the last time I went to a GameStop, but when you were at a GameStop, you just open up see what the big things were, what the review was, the covers, the eye-catching covers. It was really great. It was a good experience, but yeah, it sucks to see. Let's see. SNK says the demographic has changed. Find an independent and trusted source. CFG and the Facet is digital. Well, yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, Facet is digital. But then again, though, too, that doesn't stop them from going to change with the times. I just think that I think the process of I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like it's something simple as cake for them to do something like that. But at the same time, like if your higher ups don't want to do the level of evolution or evolving how to send that information, it could be too late, you know? Like, I mean, like, you don't have to be the first, but you can sure as hell be the best at the best or recognize change is coming and then start learning and switching out to pivot. But they never did, or when they finally did, it was way too late, you know. And then as for independence, you know what? I 100% agree with you. I think independents have a better trusted source than I think with any bigger business, because I think they have a love and they have a gain for it. I mean, hell, we're talking about Game Informer magazine here on this podcast because I'm just saying this is something that I grew up with and I loved and I love doing it. But it's still just it's still a gut. That's all. It's just still a punch in the gut, and it's showing that I'm old too. So there you go.
Well, what's crazy is I never put 2 and 2 together that Game Informer was a part of that company. I just thought, oh, well, with a purchase, I get a free magazine. I probably could have gotten it for free anyways. I just never asked because
they were giving that stuff away. Because, like, dude, remember, like they had like 100 of these things, like hundreds of these things.
Oh, they were stacked. But like in my mind as a kid, you paid for everything. Like a piece of bubblegum was 5 cents, you know? But it was there for purchase in my brain. I thought, oh, the 2 companies have a deal together. I didn't realize they were one and the same.
One of my there was a classic Final Fantasy VII cover too. I did like. I do remember them thinking about it before they changed their logo. In the before the 2000s, that was actually pretty good. Actually, I think that was the reason why I decided to get Final Fantasy VII, or let me say, because I was a kid. Asked my mom to buy Final Fantasy VII for me. But it was it was definitely a good experience. But like I said, rest in peace, Game Informer, and hopefully I wish any of the people any of the folks that got affected by this the best, and hopefully they get on their feet as soon as possible from this, because yeah, I know, right? It's just it's terrible. It was terrible. It was the commercial for Final Fantasy VII that did me in. My brother and I were sitting in the living room and went nuts over it. Yeah, that's true. Hey, Final Fantasy VII, as much shit that I give Final Fantasy VII, because I am not a Final Fantasy VII fan. Yeah, I will say that, like, I understand the emotion, the hype of it, because that was the introduction to a lot of people when it came to RPGs, because of because the way that they marketed that, and then the fact that we never saw 3D FMV video and stuff like that for a turn-based RPG at the time. You got to give it to them, man. Like, you got to give it to them when it comes to that. Now, to say, is it the best Final Fantasy? It's sure as hell not. It is definitely not the best one. But I understand why it's so popular. It was, yeah, it is. That's a really good analogy. It was the SF4 of JRPGs. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. So there you go. All right, I know that doesn't mean anything to you, Lex. I'm assuming, yeah, but still, well, no, I totally understand it.
I don't even know how old was when that came out.
97. How old were you in 97?
9.
9? See, there you go. Yeah. I mean,
I didn't have any system except the time. I always say it wrong. Watching time. You know what I'm talking about? The Donkey Kong.
Yes. Wait. Oh, you mean the little clam game? Yeah, I know you're talking about.
My dad, aka myself. And then I did get a Game Boy Color when I was 11, because we were on the road a lot for ice skating competitions. My mom didn't want me to sleep in the car the whole time.
Oh, nice. So he gave you a Game Boy to.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's terrible.
And then I just got nauseous because playing a game in the back seat is not fun.
Especially, when it's moving and it's in the dark screen and stuff. Ooh,
and then I had the little plug-in light. Yeah.
No. Oh God, that light was worse. That made it worse.
My mom let me turn the overhead light, because back then we were told that's illegal, but my mom would let me turn it on.
I don't know if that I've always wondered if that was real. Yeah, I was wondering if that was a real thing, or if they were just saying that because they didn't want you in trouble. I don't know. It was ridiculous.
They just didn't want to get pulled over, which I get.
Yes.
Because why do you have the light on? My kid's playing a game. Leave them
doing drugs.
Yeah.
Davis's favorite is Final Fantasy 13. How dare you? But anyways, okay. But anyways, Lex.
My turn.
What are you bringing to the table?
I'm actually going to talk about a game in a studio that I've never heard of. For Happy Studio. They've only put out one other game, and it is called Cube, I believe. Why did not load? It's called Cube. That's the only other game they've ever put out. But now they're going to release, and it's going to go to Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Steam, PS5, PS4, all of it. It's called Let Me Out. Action horror, which we all know I like. Developed by For Happy Studio. You're a 10-year-old indigo child in search of his mother to escape an ancient Japanese village. I'm not going to say the name because I will butcher. You uncover dark secrets and exorcise sinister demons with the help of a sister's spirit. Your sister or a sister spirit? I don't know. And a pet spider. Oh, so fun. It looks really good. It reminds me of a game that I played, and now the name escapes me. But I absolutely adored it. You know what? I can probably find it. Lost in Random. That's kind of what it gives me the vibes of. If anybody remembers that game or watching me play that, it was really good. I loved it. That this is what it's vibing for me. Kind of Tim Burton, but not quite, but not like.
Are we talking about James and the Giant Peach Tim Burton, or are we talking about? Okay.
So cute, spooky, but could be more than that. Does that make sense?
Sure, it does, kind of. I don't like, I mean, I don't know the vibes of this comparatively to what you normally play. It seems a little bit more tamed comparatively.
Yes, but I like puzzles.
Yeah, so this seems like it's more of a puzzle solver, but more than I don't know, like a spooky kind of game. But I mean, I can see why you would be interested in this. It doesn't. Is that a giant bear? What the heck was that? I just saw.
So I recently, and if Nightmare's here, she'll remember. Hi, Wing Zero. She'll remember the game, but basically, and I don't think it's on this computer. It's a fairy tale, and if you know fairy tales, you know they are dark as hell, especially like the old school ones, and that's what I think this might be based off. They don't say it, and I tried to see if I could find more information. Nay, I couldn't. But I'm hoping because it might be based off old school fairy tales, it gets real dark, like Dead Babies kind of dark, you know?
Oh, God.
Because that's usually what happens. I'm excited for it. It looked really cool, and it looked not too spooky that I thought you might enjoy playing it.
When is it coming out?
August 8th, I believe. So really soon.
Next week? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right?
Jeez.
August. Let me double check. I believe it's August 8th. It's at the end of the trailer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. August 8th, I believe. But yeah, I'm excited for it. And I thought some of you guys like puzzle games, but aren't too big into the spooky. So I thought this might be tame enough. But also,
I don't know. I mean, like it looks interesting. It does look interesting. It's actually kind of funny because I've been looking for a game to play, like
for Halloween.
Well, not really for Halloween. I don't usually play anything for Halloween, but like something.
Labyrinthine for Halloween.
I'm not playing Labyrinthine for Halloween. I'm playing Mario Party. The new Mario Party. Smitty, man, if you if I see Smitty playing Labyrinth, I'll see it to believe it. There, I'm not saying he doesn't. He's had it forever, but he hasn't touched it. So yeah, but Let Me In. Yeah, Let Me In looks interesting enough. I mean, I don't know about the puzzles and stuff. Itself, but it's always cool to kind of see. I mean, indie studio and stuff. And for an indie studio, I mean, I don't know how big the studio is or where they're based at. It doesn't look that bad.
Small. So. Yes, 1960s. So I'm thinking that's why in my brain, I think old school. They don't have a lot of people on their team, and everybody on their team looks really young, like Gen Alpha kind of young. They're in Indonesia. 1, 2, 3, 4 people.
Four people. Wow.
4 people. Tiny studio. And I don't even know how this came across my table. I got an email from my secret person that we've discussed, Fern. It wasn't the normal, hey, here's a key, babe. This was, I thought you might be interested in this.
Did you say
from
yes?
one gamer to another. And this was what was in it.
Did you play? Are you going to be able to get it?
Oh, I didn't even ask. I'll pay for it. Like I said, Fern usually sends me keys, but this was like a not professional email. It was just a, hey, I saw this, thought you might like it.
Oh, well, at least she's thinking of you there, and then she seems like she was right at this point.
She was. I don't even know if she knows I do a podcast, but I'm sure she does. She knows a lot of stuff. So
yeah, so I mean, it's yeah, I mean, no, that's awesome. That's cool that that's happening though, for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. It does look good. I will say, especially for a 4-man team.
I know.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll definitely see on that. I'm liking it. I definitely like that. So
spider friend.
Spider friend. Forget the spider friend. Why do you want to see the spider? The rules of a spider is if you see a spider, they own whatever they got, because that's like, okay, it's their house now. It's like, okay, so why are you disrupting them? You need to leave.
I don't. I let them hang out in the corner and eat bugs. I don't bother them, or I gently take them outside. Adam has a different set of rules. I don't think he knows I have 2 spiders in this room. What's
Adam's rules? He sees it, he kills it.
No, he sees it and asks me to kill it.
See, that sounds about right. That's good.
He doesn't do bugs at all. Right. I'm not allowed to have a jumping spider. No.
Yes, you're not supposed to have a freaking jumping spider. What?
It's not your house. You don't live here, Davis.
It's just
normal and I'm not allowed
rules.
to have moths. I wanted to get like the giant moths and have like the
moths?
baby caterpillars and like do the cocoons and all that. No, he said not allowed. No bugs. Can't have a tarantula. Can't have nothing fun.
I would.
But he said I could get a snake. I can't do snakes.
You don't like snakes?
No, I do. After I want to say my second brain surgery, all of a sudden I can't stand the way they move and or feel. It's a texture thing. It freaks me out.
I think Wing Zero says it best. Jumping spiders are actually pretty cute. The only kind I will say that they are enough. The rest getting the chancla. Oh, that is probably the truest statement ever. For it. Yes, you're totally right.
And jumping spiders, you can't lose them. They tether to you when they jump.
I don't want them to touch me. How is that?
Well, they don't want to touch you either.
Yes, just leave me the hell alone at that point.
Again, my house, you don't have to touch it. But Adam said no, because I'll take it out of the cage. And he'll know I took it out of the cage.
Oh, because you're the only person that lives in the house. So obviously. Yeah.
He's like, I know you won't get it and not touch it. You will, and you'll take it out. I was like, of course I will. It's my pet. He's terrible. My friend. I know.
Terrible, but anyways, it's all good. Oh no, the chancla though. No, you don't want to mess with the chancla. I will say.
Just get a piece of paper and a cup. Put them outside. They're good for the environment.
Okay, but anyways, let's close it off. We got one more topic to go. I know since it's just a 2-man team, so we got a third one. We got a third topic that I wanted to add because this week's been pretty busy actually. Well, it just seems like it's loaded with a lot of bad news, and unfortunately, I got to add one more. Another layoff, which is a big one to me, is that Bungie has pulled the trigger for a second row of layoffs. Again, through Sony. And but the one thing I'm actually surprised about is that prior to Bungie being bought by Sony, there's a Bungie worker that claims that the studio faced insolvency without Sony acquisition. So basically, if
what does Sony, that mean?
Okay, so basically, if Sony said, insolvency is basically saying you have no money. There's no that they're gone. That would have been it. They wouldn't have had there would be no way for them to at that point to exist. Yeah, like when you when you hear, because the worst thing is like they hear of a bank is like, hey, a bank is insolvent. That means they don't have any money inside the bank. It's like, but my money was with you. Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
pay their debts. Ooh.
Yeah. So basically, it seems like the biggest issue with Bungie is that they are terrible with money, and it's been an ongoing issue with them. So apparently Bungie misrepresented, this is the claim. This isn't what they did, but Bungie misrepresented its finances, and it had significantly overextended itself with Sony's when Sony acquired the studio for $3.6 billion in 2022. So it was apparently bad enough that at least one source described as well as a well-connected former worker went to as far as saying that the claim that Bungie faced dire consequences if the acquisition hadn't happened, saying that the alternative history is insolvency. So that basically means it would have not have existed if Sony said backed out on it completely. So but the worst thing of it all is the fact that once again, 200 they prior to the first set of workers that were that were laid off the first time around, which was in the fall of last year, was 220 employees. Now, from the 220 employees that they lost, they dropped down their workers down to 40% down from the initial 40% of their workers have now been laid off now, which is insane. That's a ridiculous amount of people that were left off. 40%. I don't even know how much that is. I don't know what. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how big that is.
Because that's a big number, right?
If they lost, if they lost 200 and something people, that was already a pretty big chunk. I was thinking that's probably about 20%, if anything. But then at the same time, I'm like, holy crap! So you tell me then the second set of layoffs was 40%, because even though the last shape did very well numerically, they didn't do well enough. And then the problem and the bigger issue is that the final shape didn't sell as good as the previous expansion. It still was down from what last year's expansion was, which was what light year or whatever. I forgot the name of it. So they were saying the only way that they were going to avoid this is if this expansion did good enough for them to hit to their limits for them, or their metrics that they were planning for it. And if they did, then they would not have called it off. They even canceled a game that they were making that was supposed to be inside the Destiny 2 universe completely because of it. And then because of that, they lost 2 senior support staff from that, because I don't think they got laid off, but I think they probably left. They decided to quit because at that point their project is done. There's no reason for them to stay there. This is like, it's a mess. I don't know what's going on, but basically what it comes down to for me, I don't know what the hell's going on with Bungie. That's where I'm more worried about.
Right. Well,
I'm sorry. What?
So trying to find out how many employees there are is not easy. In 2024, they're saying 850, but is that after the layoff? I don't know.
That was after the layoffs, because it was 2023 when the layoff happened. So yeah, but 40%.
I did math. 540 people were laid off. About.
No, that should be
after the 200. Because they were saying before that there was like 1,500 people working there.
Yeah. Okay,
and
so yeah,
math about equals.
That is crazy to me.
And they're not working on Destiny 3 anymore. They're doing more DLCs.
They didn't officially say that they were ever working on Destiny 3. What they were the original plan was that they were going to originally do a spin-off game that was in the Destiny universe, but it was going to be a mixture of a first party and a third party view. That was kind of like a mix of Destiny and Genshin Impact kind of thing. Okay. But then I forgot what they called it. But that was scrapped. But they're still working on Marathon, which is the remake game that they've been working on for a long period of time, and that for right now, as far as I know, it's still happening. However, what they are saying is that what they're doing because of this layoff, they're going to stop doing massive updates, like what they did with the final shape. Like the final shape is the last one that players will have to pay for. So the next following updates or upgrades and stuff like that are going to be free, are going to be free updates, and they're going to be smaller than what this previous one was. So that's their plan for now on what they're on their pivoting. But I think also in my mind on what they're also planning on doing is that since this is owned by Sony, I'm also thinking that they're going to be doing a little bit of merging between Sony and this Sony Interactive Entertainment, so SIE Studios. So there could be a mixture of a little bit of an overlap as well at the same time. So, but now the real question is it going to are they still going to be staying around as Bungie, or are they going to is this going to be is this their slow dying process for them to slowly merge and become consolidate and become SIE, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, it's so sad to see this, man. I'm just like, man, it feels like it still feels like the Band-Aid is still hasn't solved, like, for the gaming industry. It just hasn't slowed any of the bleeding. for layoffs, man. It feels like it's worse than it was this year than it was last year. When it comes to this, it's just
it does. And we're halfway through the year.
Yeah, we're now halfway.
Mm-hmm. That's not good.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. So like, I mean, but anyways, we'll see. Like, I just hope, because I mean, Destiny, like Bungie is a AAA studio. I mean, they created Halo, for crying out loud. With Destiny as their second project, they've been fairly successful. For the Halo series, for the Destiny series, it's been about 10 years, 7 years for Destiny 2. So just to see like a Titan like that fall because of mismanagement is heartbreaking, is what I'm saying. And then let alone not even just the name itself, but also the fact that there's so many people once again are going to be affected by upper management issues and mistakes and stuff that they're doing. Like right now, I think one of the biggest issues, and I'm pretty sure you may not know this, Lex, but like their CEO is also very hated. So yeah.
I'm worried about it.
Yeah, so
What's
it's just
name?
I want to say Sean something. Let me find it out real quick. See, was that right?
I don't know.
Sean Spencer sounds like a CEO name.
Right? That's what came to my brain.
CEO Bungie. Let's see. Oh, we were close. It was Pete Parsons.
SS? No, PP.
Yeah, PP. Yeah, he's like, please, just call me PP. It's like, no. It's like, no, we won't. Yeah. So like, the first thing they say that pulls up here for Pete Parsons, the CEO, he says that former Bungie devs show fury and sorrow over layoffs following the revelation that CEO Pete Parsons allegedly spent at least $2.5 million on vintage cars in the past 2 years. So he's willing to lay up. Yeah. So they're saying former Bungie devs show fury and sorrow over layoffs following the revelation that CEO Pete Parsons has allegedly spent at least $2.5 million on vintage cars in the past 2 years.
Ooh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is fun.
Wow.
That is, yeah. So I can understand why people don't want to. They don't trust them. Man.
I do too.
Okay, it's like when they're saying that and when you think about it, the insolvency thing that one guy said, it was on his watch. He's been CEO since 2016. So like, what the, man, like, I don't know that they had, so I don't know.
So was he paying people out of his own pocket then? And then
I honestly have no idea.
And said, well, I was doing this, pay me back.
If a man is willing to spend $2.5 million on personal things like vintage cars, the last thing he's wanting to do is to protect his workers.
Right.
So I don't believe, I'm not saying that I don't know if he did or if he didn't, but I think I would believe it more that he did not, because he's but anyways, but it's just sad. So yeah, so let's just see. Yeah, let's hopefully see if they find a way to see what the heck they're doing with Bungie, and to see if they get their shit together. I don't know, man. This is just too depressing. But
no kidding.
Yeah. But folks, thank you for listening to episode number 229 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again next week with a whole new series of different kind of topics. Smitty will also return to the third seat as always. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly all right. We do release this on all podcast services at each and every beginning of the week on Mondays. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Yes, guys, be sure to go check out our main website, theconfreaksandgeeks.com, and also follow us on our YouTube page, the CFG, for the special video that I will be releasing out this week. So once again, this is Davis and Lex signing out. Y'all, take it easy.
Toodles.